Merry Christmas. My name is Robert Yarnell. I'm honored to be a prayer chaplain here at Unity of New York. And although the prayer chaplains will not be doing a downstairs prayer today, you can call Silent Unity anytime at 1-800-NOW-PRAY. The word for today is Christmas. I welcome the rebirth of Christmas spirit into my heart today. The spirit of Christmas shines in and through me today. Whether Christmas Day is filled with favorite foods, gifts, and celebration with family and friends, or is one of quiet observance, I am filled with Christmas spirit. Throughout this holy day, I am mindful to reflect on what the birth of Jesus means to me. I experience a joyous rebirth of love, wonder, and light. I welcome the richness of cherished traditions, of childhood wonder and anticipation, and the timeless story of a child's birth. As the angel said, I am bringing you good news of great joy for all the people. Today I celebrate with great joy. I give and receive with love, and I treasure the living presence of the Christ in all people. And from Luke, you will have joy and gladness, and many will rejoice at his birth.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks all dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows that turkey and some mistletoe will help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. And they know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is sure to spy to see a reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, Unity. Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is sure to spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. So I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 9. say many times, many ways. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you.
From Coney Island to the Sunset Strip, somebody's gonna make a happy trip tonight. When the moon is bright, he's gonna have a band of crazy toys to give the grown-ups and the girls and boys. So dig, Santa comes on big. Come on when the snow's the most, and all you got is keeping warm as toast. And you're gonna flip when all Saint Nick waves a lick on the peppermint stick. Come flying from a higher place until the stockings are the fireplace. So you have a you that's cool. Do 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 do. When all you got to sleep in warm as toast, and you're gonna flip when all Saint Nick waves a lick on a peppermint stick. Come flying from a higher place until the stockings find the fireplace. So you have you that's cool. Oh, have you that is cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Merry Christmas Eve. Morning, everyone. Wow. Even if it is your very first time here, welcome home. Welcome home to Unity of New York. I'm so glad and so grateful that we're here together this morning. If I don't know you, my name is Britt Hall, and it's my honor to be a part of this community. Look around at this amazing community. You all look great. You all look like Christmas gifts. And for me, it already feels good just to be together this morning in community.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve. I would like to share with you the Advent reading for this morning. And the theme is joy, living joy. Good news always brings joy, but we can also experience joy simply in being alive. Joy is a recognition that God is good and all is well. It is the knowing that we live in an abundant universe where we are loved and blessed. We can cultivate joy by appreciating the gifts that grace us each and every day. We can choose to focus on the good in our lives. If we pay attention, we see that the joy Jesus inspired through his life ministry, and message was meant for us too. This was inspired by Luke chapter 2, verse 11. To you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is the Messiah, the Lord. Let's take a breath. And look in your bulletin. The front of your bulletin has today's affirmation. And it reads, I welcome the rebirth of Christmas spirit into my heart today. I welcome the rebirth of Christmas spirit into my heart today. Let's say that again, joyfully. 1, 2, 3. I welcome the rebirth of Christmas spirit into my heart today. Doesn't that feel good? One more time. I welcome the rebirth of Christmas spirit into my heart today. Yes, and so it is. And I have the joy and the pleasure of introducing someone you've already seen and already know, but to share some joyful reminders and other fabulousness is our spiritual leader, musical director extraordinaire, Reverend Britt Hall.
I love that affirmation. Welcome the rebirth of Christmas spirit into my heart today. Can we say that together one more time? Because that's good. Let's do it together. I welcome the rebirth of Christmas spirit into my heart today. I love that. Does that work for you? Yes. Okay. There's still time. Well, you know, sometimes, some years, I need that affirmation. As Robert shared in our opening daily word, the spirit of Christmas shines in and through me today. And let me tell you, it is such a bummer when I'm not feeling like that. Can anyone relate to that? I mean, I have always loved Christmas. Always. My mom always made it really special. I can even remember the smell of her perfume at Christmas time. And I used to be Mr. Christmas. You laugh. My Christmas trees and decorations were amazing specimens, worthy of any upscale hotel or department store in New York City. And I would have the most awesome parties to show them off and to celebrate the season. And now, it seems that I rarely even put up a tree or buy gifts. It seems that the older I get, the more I do for Christmas, and the less I actually feel like it is Christmas. It's that old trap of doing rather than being. Can anyone relate to that? And I so enjoy receiving the Advent booklet for Unity every year. Who all receives the Advent booklet? It's such great stuff. It's inspiration. Even if I don't get to it every day, I have it. And I really like what our friend Jim Blake, who is the CEO of Unity World Headquarters, shared in this year's booklet. And Jim, if you don't know Jim, and I don't know that many of you do, he's this big, imposing presence. He's like a good-looking version of Shrek. So with that in your mind, what he wrote is called I Believe. And I invite you to just tap on your heart space a little bit and open your heart as I share these words from Jim Blake. I believe in the magic of Christmas and the holiday season. I believe in a mythical Santa Claus figure who enlivens the spirit, who excites and generates incredible joy in millions of children for months on end leading up to that special morning. I believe in big, beautiful snowflakes drifting and hot chocolate, cozy fires, and the twinkle of holiday lights on a cold, clear night. I believe in the Hallmark Channel's Christmas movies that start airing around Thanksgiving. And I can't believe that I'm writing that. Shh, don't tell anyone. I record a lot of them and I watch them. There are loads of happy endings and heart-opening to the point of bringing a lump to the throat and a tear to the eye. I believe in radio stations that play nonstop Christmas music. I listen to them until they return to their regular programming after New Year's Day. I believe in all these things because of the indescribable way they make me feel. It's the inexplicable way that year after year, these simple treasures and these traditions break my heart wide open. It has to be magic, or a spell of some sort, because what else could possibly explain how and why millions of people simultaneously become nice, joy-filled, and even tolerant of one another for nearly an entire month. This glittery, sparkly spell that makes us open our hearts, our minds, and our wallets to charities, children, friends, families, co-workers, and even strangers. Arguments may abound on the meaning of the season, the tensions among commercialization and religion and so forth, and I can understand and appreciate them all. However, my humble request to you remains. Allow yourself to get lost in the feelings of this season and of its traditions. For there, my friends, is where the magic lies. Let the small experiences like those I described above carry you throughout this joyous season. Appreciate the transformation that occurs for a few weeks each year in the hearts and minds of those around us. Let yourself be enchanted by the wizardry of having your heart opened in each precious moment of glittery, warm, glowing goodness. After all, life is meant to be experienced, to be enjoyed with all of our faculties, and no other season simultaneously stimulates all of our senses quite like the Christmas season. To restore your childlike wonder, I would like for you to lower your voice to a whisper and simply repeat after me. I believe. Not that low. I believe. Just hearing that, or the reminders, it helps bring back some of the magic for me. Now, I admit that unlike Jim Blake, I don't really spend much time on the Hallmark Channel. But I do have my favorite beloved Christmas movies, and my favorite at the top of the list is It's a Wonderful Life. Yes. Seeing the life of George, you can yell, girl. Seeing the life of George Bailey and the journey makes me cry like a baby every time I watch it. There's just something that goes deep. It's really cathartic. And a close second movie for me is The Bishop's Wife with Cary Grant and Loretta Young. And it just doesn't ever feel like Christmas if I don't get those two movies in. If I do nothing else, if I can get those two movies in, I know I've had my Christmas. And this week, at long last, I finally saw Polar Express. Have you seen Polar Express? Well, I had to watch it as research for today, so had to make time for it. I mean, for me, It's a Wonderful Life, but I really liked it. It's a wonderful message. It's very metaphysical. I highly recommend that you see it. If you are gathered here today at Unity, I recommend that you see Polar Express. And it certainly is Christmassy. So I'm going to give you a synopsis of the story of Polar Express. On Christmas Eve, a boy who is beginning to question Santa's very existence is lying in bed when he suddenly hears a train outside in his front yard. And the train is the Polar Express, and it is about to depart for the North Pole. When the boy goes outside and examines the train, the conductor allows him to board. Now on the train, the boy meets other children, including a girl and an obnoxious know-it-all kid. There's one on every train. And the train stops to pick up another boy, Billy, who initially declines to board, but as the train is leaving, he changes his mind and he chases the train. And the first boy sees this and he pulls the emergency brake so this other kid can get on. Of course, he gets in trouble a little bit, but now Billy is on the train. So the ride continues while the new boy, Billy, sits alone in the empty dining car, while the other kids are drinking hot chocolate served by a team of waiters, and it looks just like a scene out of Hello, Dolly. It's crazy, with a little Disney thrown in. But the girl that's on the train hides a cup of hot chocolate under her seat to sneak it back to this new kid, Billy, who was all alone in the dining car. And when she and the conductor deliver the hot chocolate to Billy, the original boy discovers the girl's ticket has not been punched by the conductor. And he knows the importance of having her ticket with her at all times, so he takes off to return the ticket to her, but he loses the ticket, which is never a good sign. So the conductor takes her for a walk on the top of the train. Where else would one walk on a train? And the boy is thinking that the conductor is planning to throw her off the train. He goes after them. He finally locates the ticket and he chases them down. But he thinks he didn't get there in time because they disappeared. The boy then meets a hobo. So the boy's on top of the train and he meets a hobo because no train ride is complete without a hobo. And the hobo claims to be the owner of the train and the king of the North Pole. He helps the boy by skiing down the tops of the train cars as the Polar Express goes down a very steep, scary slope. And just before reaching Flat Top Tunnel, the boy jumps into the engine's coal tender and discovers that's where the girl is. She's actually controlling the train. She hadn't been thrown from the train after all. And from that point, much like the surprises on the journey of life, there's an engine headlight repair, a near collision with a big herd of caribou, a broken collar pin that causes the train to speed up and run out of control as it crosses Glacier Gulch and encounters a frozen lake, a crack in the ice that the train barely makes it out of before the ice collapses completely, beautiful auroras, and a train car where there are a bunch of abandoned toys, including a really scary puppet of Ebenezer Scrooge. Until finally, the train climbs up a mountain and reaches the North Pole. It is then and there that all the kids excitedly prepare to see Santa. But the hero boy and the girl see that Billy is still depressed and sitting alone in the dining car. And at this point, I was just hoping Santa would bring Billy some Prozac or something for Christmas because he was getting on my nerves. So anyway, they encourage and they finally convince Billy to go. But suddenly, our hero boy accidentally steps on the coupler lever and off the separated train car goes. All the other kids are already off running to see Santa. So they're on another adventure. And while trying to find their way back to the group, the trio explores the city's industrial area until eventually they fall right onto Santa's humongous pile of presents. And as this gargantuan bag is placed on Santa's sleigh, of course, elves come and safely remove the kids. And as the reindeer are excitedly preparing for the journey that night, Santa arrives, and the hero boy desperately tries to look at him, but he can't see him. There's too much in the way, and he just can't get a view of Santa. And suddenly, a bell breaks loose from a reindeer harness, and it rolls right to the feet of the boy. He rings the bell, but he doesn't hear anything. When he realizes all the others there can hear the bell, and he can't, it's very disconcerting. He doesn't understand what's going on. And it's at this point in the movie that he has his own personal encounter with Santa, which of course results in restoring his belief in Christmas. And at the moment he believes again, he hears the bell ring. Santa then entrusts the bell with the boy. And then he leaves with the reindeer guiding his sleigh into the night sky of Christmas Eve. So then the elves get busy and they reattach the lost car back to the train, and the kids hop on board, preparing to head home to their beds. After all, it is still Christmas Eve. And when the kids on the train ask the boy to show them the bell, he reaches in his pocket and he's devastated to learn that there was a hole in his pocket. And he's lost the bell. So all the kids are returned safely home. And suddenly it's Christmas morning. And the boy's sister eagerly wakes him up to open presents, and he's sure it was all just a dream. Until under the tree, he finds the bell that he lost, which comes with a note from Santa saying that he found it on the seat of his sleigh. The parents ring the bell, and they don't hear the bell. They think it's broken, but the narrator, Tom Hanks, he can tell that the boy can still hear it, as the bell will only ring for those who truly believe. So again, to restore your childlike wonder, in a low voice, simply repeat after me once again. I believe. I believe.
Sleeping, snow is softly falling. Dreams are calling like bells in the distance. We were dreamers not so long ago. But one by one we all had to grow up. When it seems the magic slipped away, we find it all again on Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste. There's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside and give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need. Just believe. Dreams move quickly to their journey's destinations are where we begin again. Ships go sailing far across the sea. Trusting starlight to get where they need to be. When it seems that we have lost our way, we find it all again on Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste. so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside and give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need if you just believe. If you just believe. If you just believe.
So what do we believe? At Friday evening's candlelight service, the first 12-power candle that we lit represented our faith, our faculty of faith. Faith as a living light that is always expressing and always unfolding, just as we are. We remember that there is never, ever a time our faith is not activated, that we're not using it. It's a matter of where we're placing it and what we are believing. Our theme Friday evening for the Christmas Eve candlelight service was the love and light of Christmas. How many of you were there Friday night with us? That was kind of beautiful, wasn't it? We talked about how love is central to the Christmas story. And as we continue to acknowledge this truth, we have the opportunity to move beyond the exterior trappings of Christmas, beyond any religious belief, into the reality of an experience. The experience that is told in the story of Jesus' birth, in his life, of all that he did and of all that he endured. And this is told most especially in the teachings of Jesus. For here was perhaps the greatest spiritual teacher to ever walk the earth. He offered the ultimate spiritual teaching, which was made reference to in the song, O Holy Night. Jesus, he taught us to love one another. It was a teaching of unconditional love. Love for the divine that is within yourself and within all people and all creation. And what he taught was that how you bring your love, how you bring your gift should not be conditioned on how other people are bringing their gifts or by what they do. This was Jesus' main teaching, love. It's what he lived with his life. It's this ultimate spiritual teaching of unconditional love. And he taught that no matter what happens, love prevails. For love is the all-powerful, universal energy within all creation. The truth is that we are love at our very core. The very core of who we are is love. And I think we can't be reminded of that too often. It's easy to get off course. And in accepting unconditional love, we're not becoming something that we're not. We are being something that we are. And the whole purpose of our life is to wholly be who we are and embody who we are. And we sometimes have to go through dark places to arrive at that place. Have we all been there? If you listen closely beneath the lines, you'll discover that in O Holy Night it refers to the dark night of the soul. When the soul enters the wonder of the darkness and finds that within that darkness, within the destruction and the falling away of whatever is old in one's life, there is a falling to one's knees in the manger. And then there is the birth of the Christ through oneself. The light that emerges. The stars that are brightly shining, even in the darkness. It is in this process that a person is inheriting the strength and the power of unconditional love, but the power that endures, the power that prevails, the power that never stops. So welcome to this place called Bethlehem, to this manger, a place in which the Christ is born in us, through us, the divine, which desires to be expressed and embodied in this world.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in fear and error pining, till he appeared, and the soul felt its worth. The thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angel voices. Christ was born. Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace. Chains shall he break, for the chains are broken, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, let all within us praise his holy name.
She sang of peace. So let's envision the birth of Jesus occurring in a setting of great peace. Because even a barnyard trough can be a holy place. Can you envision a picture of peace in a straw tufted manger with a newborn tucked lovingly in its snug embrace as mother and observers look on? The birth of the Christ child heralded the arrival of peace, of hope, of joy, of love. And Mary has a very special place in our hearts because Mary is the quintessential activity of faith. The angel Gabriel, a divine visitor, knocked on the door of her heart, asking her to do the impossible, to let Mary know she will miraculously give birth to a child. And this news probably kicked up some fear and filled her with just a few questions. Yet the moment Mary stepped forward in faith and into the unknown future, she created a space within herself for infinite possibilities to be born. And when Carlos was here just a few weeks ago, he reminded us all that we are pregnant. It freaked a few of you out. But that we are pregnant. We are pregnant with possibility. We're giving birth to what has been waiting to come through us. Little did Mary know, this child would become a way shower for the entire world on how to live, to love, and to forgive.
Out of the night, into the dawn, into the light, this child, innocent child, soft as a fawn. This child is born, one small heart, one pair of eyes, one work of art, here in my arms. Trusting and warm, blessed this morn, a child is born. When blossoms flowered mid the snow upon a winter night, was born the child, the Christmas rose, the King of love and light. The angels sang, the shepherds sang, the great their exultation voiced. Oh, come, let us adore Him. Oh, come, let us adore Him. Oh, come, let us adore Him. Christ, come, let us adore Him. Adore Christ the Lord. Oh, come, let us adore Him. Let us adore Him. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to our daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels ride? When you've kissed your little baby and you've kissed the face of God. Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of your name. Mary, did you know that your baby boy was Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy was heaven's perfect lamb? This sleeping child you're holding is the great I
And a surprise guest, Doyle Santa. She travels everywhere with me. Thank you, Doyle. It's always great to see you again. So the peaceful birth scene of Christmas morn is a beautiful expression of the radiant peace that is in the heart of all of us. Here are all parts of us symbolically represented by Mary and Joseph, the three wise men, the shepherds, the animals. all gathered around the peaceful presence of the Christ Spirit, whose calm power and love transform the world. It is this peace and this wonder of the holiday season that can live in our hearts all year long. Christmas is a state of mind, and it's a state of being, not doing. We can keep that spirit alive by giving, receiving, and generating peace, because Spirit within assures us that peace goes wherever we go, because we are one with the Christ essence. Are we not? We're one with all creation, one with the I am. Christmas is about showing up in the world, adorned as our glorious spiritual selves, sharing love, peace, faith, hope, and sharing joy with one another. Wherever we are and whoever we are, let us behold the divine light in each other. When we do, we create peace by being peace-filled. Our sacred light of goodwill shines in whatever we think or say or do. Advent has been about preparing for the coming of the Christ. And we now celebrate that that time of preparation is complete. The waiting is over. It's here. So may you always have a hand to hold, smiles to share, wonders to behold, joy for living, time to give thanks. And may you experience the true peace in your heart this Christmas 2017. And so it is. And now we prepare for a time of meditation. And I invite you to open your heart even wider to go to that deep place of peace within you. A commitment to peace means that in the midst of all the situations and people who may come our way, we will find a way to remain calm and remain peaceful. We can gently catch ourselves anytime we leave our peace and simply take a moment to breathe and come back to it. Peace is the best gift we can ever give ourselves and to everyone around us. Peace, peace, peace on earth and goodwill to all. This is a time for joy. This is a time for love. Now let us all sing together of peace, peace, peace on earth. Will you please join in singing Silent Night? Peace, peace, peace on earth, and goodwill to all. This is a time for love. This is a time for joy. Let us all sing together of peace, peace, peace. Let us know the second verse. Peace, peace, peace on earth and love and to all. This is a time for love. This is Now let us all sing to God. Oh, Christ is ours. Let's do that last line again. Christ is ours.
So let us join our hearts and minds together. In this, the spirit of meditation and prayer. The silence is a kind of stillness, a place of retreat in which we enter, and having entered our heart space, we know the truth. We go into the silence by observing the instructions given to be still and to know. And the only way to really know is to become perfectly still, to come away from the outer and from looking for things into the inner quiet, where we are alone with wisdom. In the silence, we know that wisdom is given for every need. So may these moments of quiet lead us to the heart of this very season, which is peace. Whether we believe it or not, or whether we like it or not, Christmas is here and now. Just as love is a reality, compassion too is a possibility, hidden inside every interaction of how we choose to be with one another. And whether we feel like it or not, we are all brothers and sisters together, born of a single womb. And whether we like it or not, we were all one tribe and share one fate. We know it in our heads, but when we know it in our heart, then from our centering ourselves, the divine center will be everywhere. And the circumference will have no boundaries, and we will rise on a new and different kind of dawn. So may these moments of quiet, may we breathe deeply peace in this quiet place and relax into the warmth which is this room and each other's company, and know that we are safe here. And let us open our heart to today's story. Like the wandering couple, may we find that our greatest trials issue forth our greatest joys. Like the harried innkeeper, may we find ways to be help to others. Like the lumbering beasts, may we be silent witnesses to the unfathomable glory of life. Like the shepherds on the hill, may we know that we need never, ever be afraid. And like the journeying wise men, may we always have the courage to follow our stars. Like the angels, may we always proclaim peace and be peace in a troubled world. O Holy One, to these prayers for our own transformation, let us now add a prayer for all those who are suffering and are grieving this very day. May they find comfort those who are involved in any type of war or discord. May they and may we be safe. And may this season of peace and goodwill nudge our world towards its ideals. For then will Christmas truly dawn. And in the quiet of silence, we breathe and pray.
As we come out of the silence, let us know. Silent night once again together. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, brown young virgin, mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. And so it is. magic of this season. We at Unity of New York, the ministry staff, the board of trustees, all of our volunteers, we bless you and those you love during this sacred season into a new year of abundant life, love, and joy.
We wish you joy this Christmas and a happy New Year. May your days be wholly blessed, filled with love and cheer throughout this Christmas season. Please lend a helping hand in your heart. Keep words of peace, for this our world was bad. Share God's love this Christmas. Give as is given to you. Bring hope to everyone you meet, as we are called to do. Share words of hope this Christmas. Peace and happiness. May faith stay strong within your heart. Your spirit truly blessed. So before we leave on this Christmas Eve, let's take a moment to just go within. As we breathe and we just be in the moment and taking the words and the lyrics that were sung today, all the music, all the messages. And let us remember from our readings that we can cultivate joy by being grateful in the moment for our present blessings and our past blessings. And let us remember that joy is not dependent upon what is happening outside of us, what someone does or does not do, where we happen to be. Joy is an inside experience. So no matter what your day is composed of, no matter what you have to do for Christmas, always remember that the rebirthing of that Christ spirit that each of us already has can happen not just at Christmas time, but at every single moment of every day when we tap into our awareness of our oneness in spirit. It is knowing who we are, whose we are, and the truth of what we are. We are good. We are God's love in expression. Let us take these messages of peace, hope, love, and joy wherever we go. Let us be it an expression and not only bless ourselves, but everyone we come in contact
this prayer, we put our arms around, our hearts around everyone throughout the city, throughout the state, throughout our nation, across the planet. Wherever there is unrest, we send messages of peace. Wherever there is anything that looks other than love and joy and hope, we send forward our prayers of love and hope and joy. And remember that all things are indeed possible with God, and that each of us is love and expression. We are so grateful to know these truths. And let us know this and remember this as we share our prayer of protection.
With us in every moment. Please stand.